And I was a victim of Bris Milah. I was actually born a preemie, so it wasn't done to me at 8 days old because I was too frail at that time for it to be inflicted on me. And it was actually done to me when I was around 6 months old, and I suspect they did it then because it was the last chance they had to do that in the traditional ceremony instead of having to, put me in the hospital. And basically, I had this religious genital mutilation that was inflicted on me without my consent. And basically, I saw a circumcision happen when I was 9. I saw my cousin's Brit Milah, and my biggest regret about that is that I was not able to stop it. I've been against circumcision since then, but I still wasn't aware of exactly what was lost. Although I always kind of, going through puberty, I always had a feeling that there wasn't as much sensitivity as there's supposed to be. And I really learned about the full function of the foreskin the first time I went to university. I was surfing around the Gopher service one night, which is Gopher was sort of a precursor to the World Wide Web, and I stumbled upon a page about circumcision, and that's when I read about 20,000 sensory nerve endings and fine touch nerve receptors, the gliding action, and that it all just made sense to me. I'm like, wow, this is what's missing from me. And since then, I was already against it once I saw it happen, as well as I always felt even if it was just a useless flap of skin, it should still be a person's choice what flaps of skin are removed from their body. Yes. And once I was 17, 18, I knew, wow, this is not a useless flap of skin at all. This is a very important and erogenous part of the body. And I've been against circumcision since then, and I've sort of spoken about it whenever I had the chance, which was rather infrequent. I remember occasionally, I was at a punk party when I was 20 in London, and there was a girl who had a kid with a Muslim man, and she was saying, her ex-boyfriend wanted to have the kid circumcised. I was like, no, don't do that. Leave him intact. It's barbaric mutilation. And I don't know what wound up happening with that, but that was one opportunity I had. But I didn't know that there was an intactivist movement until I got on Facebook, sort of late in 2010. I started joining all of these intactivist groups, and that's really when I'd heard of intactivism from some friends I had who were intersex. But what I knew of intactivism was, which I also was very much on board with, was through intersex intactivism. But I didn't know about this mass genital integrity movement until I got onto Facebook, and I think that's the main thing that is inhibiting the movement from growing, is that people who are against forced circumcision, forced intersex gender reassignment, as well as all other types of forced genital mutilation, they're just not aware that there's a protest movement in America. And I think we really need to start advertising more that we have these large protests as well as the smaller ones.
Cool.